On September 11th, Parlo was detained in the UK after a pile of reports tied to the dupe drama hit local police. I'm going to lay out what led up to that, why the evidence that sparked this was missing crucial context, and how a creator can be silenced while the internet invents its own ending. If you care about facts over rage bait, hit like, sub, and share, because the full story never trends unless we push it. Quick rewind. Parlo teased a deep dive on Pyrocynical, and the second he did, the dog pile started. Then dupe posts on Reddit, claims that Parlo, 19, tried to meet a minor. Boom, thousands of upvotes. A ready-made headline, zero nuance. What didn't travel with the post? A year's worth of messages where dupe repeatedly presented himself as 17 turning 18, talking jobs, drinking, trauma, adult-coded topics that match the age he claimed at the time. In the UK, the age of consent is 16. If you accept the age as it was represented then, you don't have a crime. You have a narrative reframed after the fact. That's the pattern. Take chats, slice out the context, and upload the worst-looking fragments. Internet court renders a verdict. Actual law and full logs arrive last. So how do we jump from a subreddit pile-on to police at the door? According to call logs and summaries from Parlo's side, a figure named Nat, you've seen the handle, reported Parlo to UK authorities with two cherry-picked screenshots: hotel meetup talk and make-out talk. No mention that dupe had told Parlo he was 17. No mention of turning 18. When pressed later, Nat allegedly admits he knew about the age claims but didn't highlight them, and even says he wanted an arrest. That's not neutral reporting. That's an outcome hunt. And once you get a case number, the dynamic flips. Creators are told to zip it, while the person who filed the report keeps posting, shaping the public story in real time. The intake process was built for emergencies, not for internet vendettas. When context goes missing at the front door, everything that follows gets warped. September 10th into the early hours of September 11th was when everything spiraled out of control for Parlo. The day had already started badly. One of his older privated videos suddenly got hit with a community guideline strike. This wasn't even a public upload. It was something sitting on his channel unseen, yet YouTube still flagged it. That might sound minor, but for creators, one strike is terrifying. It restricts uploads, limits live streaming, and instantly puts your account at risk if another strike follows. Parlo spent the whole day on calls with a friend, drafting appeals, explaining how this was unjust, and trying to keep calm. But then, late at night, things escalated in a way no one could have predicted. Around midnight in the UK, Parlo told his friends that police vans were pulling up outside one of his family members' homes asking for him by name. It looked like a swatting attempt, but it wasn't just some prank. Hours later, the flashing red and blue lights were outside Parlo's own house. Multiple police vehicles, tactical gear, officers with rifles. This wasn't a welfare check. This was a full-scale detainment. Parlo was ordered off his devices, muted his call, and then disappeared. His friend on the other end of the line sat stunned as the call went dead. From there, Parlo spent 12 hours in a cell. Think about that. 12 hours cut off from everything. No uploads, no communication, no ability to defend himself publicly while the internet was already spinning the story. For a creator, that silence is deadly. Screenshots and lies trend instantly. The truth is stuck behind police walls, waiting on an investigation that never should have happened in the first place. In the weeks that followed, details started leaking out. Eventually, a confrontation was recorded with Nat, the person who had reported Parlo to UK authorities. What came out in that call was shocking, but also exactly what many had suspected. The entire report was based on half-truths and cropped evidence. Nat admitted that when he contacted police, he deliberately left out the messages where dupe told Parlo he was 17 turning 18. He only provided the worst-looking screenshots, hotel plans, and talk about making out, without context, making it look like Parlo was knowingly messaging a child. When pressed, Nat even admitted that he wanted Parlo arrested, not warned, not investigated. Arrested. That alone tells you his motive. It wasn't about justice. It wasn't about protecting anyone. It was about revenge and silencing someone who had been exposing the wrong people online. And here's the real kicker. Once you leave out that context, the police can't see the bigger picture. They don't fact-check subreddit drama. They see crop logs, they act. That's how the system works, and Nat exploited it. Later, he tried to backtrack, saying he didn't highlight it enough, or maybe the police should have caught it. But anyone watching could tell, this wasn't an accident. This was a calculated move to destroy Parlo's reputation and freedom. And even though he walked back his claims, admitted the gaps, and even said he would contact police to clarify, the damage was already done. Parlo had already been detained. His family had already been harassed. His reputation had already taken a beating. You can't undo a night in custody. You can't erase the headlines that painted him guilty before facts were even checked. So now we're at the most important part of this story. What does all of this actually mean for Parlo? And for every single creator watching this video? Because if you think this is just about one guy getting caught in some internet beef, you're wrong. This situation exposes how fragile a creator's entire career and livelihood really is when false allegations and cropped evidence are allowed to spread like wildfire. Let's start with Parlo himself. Overnight, his reputation was dragged through the mud. He wasn't just criticized, he was branded with one of the most damaging labels imaginable, and based on half-truths, cropped screenshots, and deliberately withheld context. Imagine spending years building your name, growing your audience, and creating content, only for someone to strip that all away with a single Reddit post. That's what happened to Parlo. He was detained, humiliated, and forced into silence while the same people who lied about him got to keep posting freely. Even now, weeks later, that silence has only made things worse. His absence fuels speculation, and every day, new viewers stumble across those same false claims, not knowing the full truth. But this doesn't just impact Parlo. This should terrify every creator who's ever spoken out against someone powerful online. Because what this case proves is simple. You don't need facts to ruin somebody. You just need a viral post and the right lie. Police departments aren't checking Reddit logs line by line. They act on what they're given. Platforms like YouTube aren't protecting their creators. They're handing out community strikes for videos that aren't even public. And the audience? The audience believes what spreads the fastest, not what's actually true. Now, let's talk solutions. For Parlo, the smart move now is legal. False police reports are crimes. Defamation and malicious falsehood are real legal categories. And in this case, there's already enough evidence to show that the people pushing this narrative knew the truth, but chose to hide it. If Parlo takes action, if he sues, he doesn't just protect himself. He sends a message to everyone else in the Roblox drama community, and in fact the entire YouTube ecosystem, that this kind of harassment and weaponization of the justice system has real consequences. You can't just crop messages, lie about someone's age, and call the cops without paying for it later. And for creators out there, this is a wake-up call. Always, always keep your receipts. Back up your DMs, export your chat logs, save everything off-platform. Because if the mob ever comes for you, evidence is the only thing standing between you and complete ruin. Have a crisis plan. Have a trusted friend who can update your audience if you're silenced. Don't assume truth will automatically win, because as Parlo's case shows, the truth often comes last. Finally, for the viewers, this is on you too. Stop believing cropped screenshots. Stop sharing posts that leave out context. Ask questions. Look for the missing details. Remember that lies trend instantly, while facts take work to uncover. Parlo's story isn't just his own. It's a reminder that in the online world, false allegations ruin lives. And unless we push back with evidence, accountability, and louder truth, this cycle will keep repeating until the next creator loses everything.